I used to be a personal trainer. Then I gave my 2-week notice.
And you better turn down your mobile phone.
I didn't realise it was still on, G-Man.
Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? It is Sunday, the 10th of July. It is 7 degrees. We're going to be reaching a top of 20 degrees. It got cold last night. Petrol is at $1.96.7 per litre. And if this is your first time here, or if it's not your first time here, don't forget you need to like and share that like button. Smash that like button. Like that smash button. Whatever it is. And don't forget, if I'm not here every single day at 9 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time, then I am not here. It's very exciting here today. Did you like it, the joke? I can't speak today. The joke was done today by Free Thought Domain. So you're probably wondering, ooh, what does he or she or they or z or zer look like? Well, we're going to unmask that person in a moment. Some of you already got this little visual in your head. I want you to do a visual in your head. You know how you do a visual? You speak to that person on the phone and you go, oh, I like that phone call from that 999 number. Ooh, very, very sexy. And then you get to see them and you go, ooh. That's what it's like. That's what it's like when I met this person. I was expecting, and I got that. This is what I got. You're not supposed to laugh. So, before we get underway, we always have to cheers the great man, because that is why we're here every single day. So, raise your glass, and if you wouldn't mind just raising. Cheers, Rudy. Geez, you're looking good, man. You are looking good. Vasa is good for you. And from one Gerald to another Gerald.
All hail Rudy.
All right, we've got to get into this because we're going to be doing the motivations, but I know why you're here. It's not to have a look at who was the first comment, but we do want to know who Free Thought Domain is. So without further, I hate that saying. Do you hate that saying, without much further ado? Who says that in English? Like in English? Like, let's have dinner. Without much further ado. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Let's not say it. So let's bring up the magic Free Thought Domain. Drum roll. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, Free Thought. How are you?
Hey, G-Man. Nice to be here in the hot seat.
What do you think? Hey, this is it. This is
cool setup.
You're sitting in here. Let me put us on both of the screens so you can see both of us.
Very cool setup.
What I might get you to do, or you can stay where you are, but I might just raise you a bit. I raised you up. Now, you came here, I saw this morning that you came in a little red mobile.
I did.
All the way. How far is it from here to your place?
It's 135 kilometres.
And if people want miles?
Double it and add 50 on it.
just halve it. Just put it in half if that's what we have to do. Now, we're going to go through, as you know, people, you're going to go through the motivations. We'll go through the news. We probably won't have a chance to use the what do we call it? The animals and the memes. We probably won't have a chance to do that. But I think what we might do also is that we might do a phone in. Now, Free Thought, you have headphones there.
I do.
And I have headphones
Trusty
here.
cans.
And if you want to call Free Thought and ask her any question that you like, you're more than welcome to do that. So before we start, give me the FTD story. Who are you and what the hell are you doing in my house?
Well, that's a bit of a question. Who are we? Do we really know who we are? Like, at the end of the day, I've had a myriad of different roles in my life. Evidently, you know, particularly being a female, I think we go through different roles, maybe differently to how men do. You know, when I look back over my life, you know, once I was a daughter because my dad was well known in the town, so I was his daughter. And then I got married, and then I was his wife because we were moving around and we were going to events where everyone knew him but they didn't know me, so I was then a wife. And then we had children, and I was then that person's mother. So you go through these phases, and at some point trying to find out who you are as a woman can be quite a challenge. So yeah, it's been a...
It's interesting, like all the monikers, like my moniker G-Man is obviously because Gerald and then Porsche Man. How did you come up with Free Thought Domain? Or in my case, Free Tho Domain?
Well, it's a bit of a story. I was boiling frogs, linking back to the fact that we're boiling frogs in a pot at the moment. That's how I see the world, is there's all of this stuff boiling the water underneath it, and most people are not seeing it and are not smart enough to jump out of the pot. So it was that someone started trolling me on that, so I changed it. And I went, you know what, we're now to that point in society where I can see that even thinking freely is going to be outlawed if we're not careful, if we don't stay awake, stay alert.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff.
So you mean something like, I don't have it here at the moment because I changed everything.
That's
so
right.
stay awake, stay alert.
Yeah,
so,
if we don't stay awake and stay alert, we're going to have the 1984 situation where we're not going to be allowed to think our own thoughts. And so that's where I came up with Free Thought Domain, is that...
It's a great moniker. I think it's a great moniker that you have. Now, you've got, I think, from the little conversation that we've had, and I love it how you sent me a whole bunch of PowerPoint slides. Do you have all your notes with you and everything?
I was organised.
You were very organised.
Yeah.
I don't know. Geez, you could be my producer. In
I
fact,
don't think so.
I met your son today, Brock.
Yes.
Is that his name? Yeah,
Yes.
Brock.
Yes.
And he's a graphic designer.
Yes.
Let's all make it simple. He manipulates photos to make us all look fantastic. He needs
Absolutely.
he needs to be my producer every day. He needs to drive
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah.
How long did it take? An hour and a half?
Yeah.
About that?
Yeah,
to get down
we
here.
stopped off at Taringa to pick up Brock on the way through because he lives at Taringa. And, I think it was 12 minutes from his place to here on a Sunday morning with no traffic.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? So what gets you up in the morning? What's the thing that makes you shake off the cobwebs, and what's your passion? What's your thing?
Well, I am a helper. At the end of the day, that's what I realised, is that I like to help people, and I like to help people improve their lives and feel better, have a better way of living. I'm a movement restoration coach and a myofascial therapist. So
Whoa, slow down. A movement restoration coach.
Yeah.
Movement restoration. You restore my movements?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you get injured, whether it's in the gym, playing sport, falling down the stairs, falling off your bike, however it happens, you will be in pain. So you'll injure yourself and you'll be in pain, whether it's from an acute injury like falling off your bike, or from a repetitive injury like you might have a job where you just have the same movement, where you do the same movement over and over. And when you have pain, you'll start using different muscles to avoid activating the muscle that's causing you pain. And then over time, even when the pain's gone, the injury's repaired, you will maintain that altered and incorrect movement pattern. And so what I do with both the movement restoration, so originally I was a personal trainer, but then as I got older, I started to have injuries and fibromyalgia and things like that caused me to not be able to do the exercise that I wanted to do. So I sought ways to correct that. And so with the movement restoration coaching, we deactivate the muscles that we don't want to be working and activate the muscles that we do want to be working, so that when you are doing a workout, or whether you're just walking around and doing your thing or playing sport, the right muscles are working, so you're not creating a further injury or pain further down the track. So so that's what I mean.
So you're a personal trainer?
Yes.
So movement restoration coach, what was the other long term that you used?
Myofascial release therapist.
What's going on with my face?
So it's nothing to do with your face.
Myofascial, what's that mean?
So around your muscles. So you've ever had a steak and there's that fibrous bit of skin, if you've got your raw steak, and there's that bit of skin stuff that's around.
I never had that sort of a steak.
The little, no, I feel it.
Yes.
Yeah. It still has it.
Oh, damn.
It's around all your muscles, it's around all your bones, all your organs, everything. If you've ever prepared liver, you will have peeled off that layer. That's the fascia. So the fascia becomes, when you have an injury, say you break your leg when you fall off your bike, when that repairs, the fascia will actually get disrupted. A scar tissue, if you've had appendectomy, if you've had any moles cut out, even simple things like cut your foot on a coral or something, you when it heals, the fascia becomes disrupted and it pulls against the muscle. And because it's like a Spider-Man suit that covers your entire body, if you pull on it in one way, then you can't move properly in the other way. So what I do is release that through a form of massage so that it settles that down, makes it feel better, gets it back in the right hydration because it gets dehydrated as well, and then it's able to perform its duty of keeping the muscles intact without restricting the movement of the muscle fibres.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So lucky the word of the day, we haven't looked at the word or the phrase of the day today, but the word of the day yesterday was an orchidectomy. So if I came in and I said, I've had an orchidectomy, you would go, myofascial reconstruction.
No.
Damn. It's not going to work, is it?
You can join, what was his name? Varys in Game of Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Be a eunuch.
I'm gonna be one of those people that's going to admit I've never watched one episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Not
really?
one yet.
Wow.
I watched all the others, I watched True Blood and, I sat through that whole series, but never watched the Game of Thrones. We're going to come back to, I love your history, but we need to read the news out.
Of course you do.
For if we don't read
That's
the
what
news
Rudy's
out,
here for.
if he doesn't see what the news is all about, he'll be saying right now, who is this woman? What is this woman in your house? He'll be saying something like that. And then he'll yell at me later and say, I don't speak like that. So let's have a look at what the news of the day is. So we can get... Here we go. Sopranos star Tony Sirico. So he dies of age 89. Any guesses? He's only 79.
79. So some people are old at 79.
Yeah,
some people
true.
aren't.
Yeah. I loved most of his roles.
Yeah,
That he was
see-
in. Always played the bad person.
I never watched an episode of Sopranos.
There you go. Well, that's why you're looking at him going... You're probably looking at him going, which one is he? Do you want to take a guess which one he is?
I can't. I need my glasses on here, but
no.
I reckon he's the one in the tracksuit.
No, wrong.
No,
One on
see.
the left. There we go. All right, next one. Mother of 5 collapses and dies on school run after pain in head. This is here in Australia, so... I wonder what happens there. She's she's a mum, got 5 children, drops the
Looks
kids
like
off
she's
at school.
what, about 30?
Yeah, late 30s, early 30s could be.
Yeah.
And then drops the kids off at school and then just collapses on the pavement with the brain aneurysm.
Wonder whether she's had any recent medical procedures.
I see what you did there. All right, let's have a look at it. Another one. Police are investigating unlawful killing of cattle in Cape York.
Oh, no.
So we saw in the States what was happening over there. You've got a bit of an affiliation with the States, don't you?
I do. We can get into that later.
We might get into that later. So we saw the cattle over there that had massive massacre or heat stroke that they were suffering over there. We saw the bees yesterday. So the bees yesterday
That's
had...
tragic.
From the varroa virus, I think that was. So that's tragic. And now we're investigating an unlawful killing of cattle in Cape York. I wonder how many there were. So what's happening?
Lots.
Why the livestock?
Well,
We can get into that too. You look at you shaking your head like that.
look, I just sometimes need to just hold back a little bit.
You want
I
us
don't
to
want your channel removed.
Yeah, you want
on
this
the
to be shut
internet.
down, don't you? Yeah, you want the whole thing to be buffering again.
No.
All right, treating your pet like a child might be bad for you and them. Do you have any animals?
I do.
What do you got?
I have a greyhound.
Oh, okay.
Miss-
From a
Miss
rescue, or was
Marley.
it?
So she wasn't rescued.
No.
She came straight from her owner to me. She actually used to race in Brisbane here. She trained in Brisbane over here at the racetrack. And then she actually got sent back up to Townsville, where I was living in Cairns at the time. And I had decided that I wanted to have a ex-racing greyhound, and she came up. And so I decided I would
the
adopt her.
greyhound.
So I'm going to sneeze. So
Go sneeze, go for it. I'll take you off for a second. No, do it. Just on camera. That's good. And spit all over my microphone.
No.
So when the next person comes and they go, I feel a little bit sick, I'll go, that was free thought domain.
It's not that sort of sneeze. It's just a environmental sneeze.
Oh, is it?
So yes.
Okay.
So I got her straight from her owner. Those greyhounds were treated like absolute princes and princesses. They ate better than I did. They got high grade mints. They had fish oil and glucosamine and all of these supplements all put onto their food. You know, they were treated like absolute royalty.
Princesses.
So so I got her straight from her owner. And I also have 2 cats.
We'll move on now. What are their names? What's the dog's name?
So the dog's name is Miss Marley.
Okay.
She raced under the Divine Miss M.
Okay.
And the cat's names are Tilly and Sherlock.
Oh, cute.
And then there's the chooks and the guinea pig and the fish.
So a few animals where you are. But I agree with this story here. Treating your pet like a child might be bad for you and for them. Yeah, I think yesterday we showed a clip of, an animal that gets dressed up. I don't like that. I think it dignifies them because they're animals, and they like to go out. And what do they eat? So if you think about, what should I feed my dog? And these people that are giving it like vegan supplement or vegan meals, it's just not what a dog eats. Like if you think of a dog in the wild, it's going to eat anything that's laying around. It'll roll in poo. It'll eat a dead chook, if it's there. So I don't know, when these people are sitting around and dressing them up and making them look like...
Oh, Miss Marley does have jammies. She has jammies.
Oh, jammies is okay,
because she feels the cold.
Oh, absolutely.
So she has to have her jammies. But that's not dressing up. That's... No. She comes and stands there and says, put my jammies on.
Whippets, Italian greyhounds.
Anything with smooth, short hair. Actually, even at my German Shepherd, the one that you showed the painting of, she had a coat as well because even though she was a long hair, she had a single coat, so needed the warmth.
The warmth. We all need the warmth. Elon Musk is terminating his $44 billion takeover.
Sure he is. Yeah, let's just see what happens there. Another one to try and get the... I'm still shadow banned. I'm still banned. Never sent a tweet in my life.
No, well, it's not like I send tweet. Well, I do. I kind of like copy and then comment on a tweet and got rid of me. So Jordan Peterson, if you still want that producer, we're in the same boat, man. Only you got suspended, but if you were to delete your tweet, you'll get reinstated. Me, it's just like, goodbye. Thanks. This is the last story. Sri Lankan president to resign after protesters storm his house. So they are fed up with what's going on over there.
They're hungry, man.
They're hungry. And do you think something like that's ever going to happen over here?
Well, you can't get tissues, so what's next?
Yeah, tissues. And then it was toilet paper, and then it's, meat was on the downturn. Yeah. But I do want to... we were going to show some motivations. I'm looking at the time, and the time's just going to go so quick here at the moment. But we might stay a little bit longer, if you don't mind.
Yeah, don't worry.
Depends. And we'll do a phone in later.
I've just got to get back up the range by 4.
Maybe we should open up the bottle of whiskey, and when your husband comes back in, it'll be like, yes, how you going? It's like, what's been going on in here? Nothing, just having a bit of the whiskey. So, what's your affiliation with the US of America?
So, through my granddad, we traced our family history. Well, my granddad did a lot of genealogy back when he was alive. And so he traced he had folder after folder of all of our family history. Now, he's from Scotland. So he's the reason I like a little whiskey. He always called it Scotch.
In fact,
always called
do I have... Who's that?
There he is, the man himself. That's Murray. That's on his 99th birthday.
No way.
99 not out. He was a great cricket fan, so he used to watch the cricket every summer. So he's the reason that I like a little sip of whiskey.
Good.
And great man. And he did all this research, and through that research he discovered that one of, I don't know how many greats goes in front of it, grandmothers, was Mary Chilton. So Mary Chilton was actually the first European woman to step off the Mayflower onto American soil.
Okay.
Back in the day, don't ask me what year it was
Okay,
because
yeah.
I'm not good with that. 16 something.
Yeah, 72.
Yeah. So she was 13.
Mm-hmm.
She was on the little rowboat that they took out from the big sail ship.
Mm-hmm.
And because she was 13 and been on a ship for quite some time, she
Mm-hmm.
was feeling a little bit caged and decided that she needed to jump off the boat. She jumped off the boat onto Plymouth Rock.
Really?
And yes, and she, so that's my affiliation with America. So yeah, we've got a bit of family history. Happens to be through that particular lineage that I'm related to the great, no, that's not the right word, to George H.W. Bush.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So you're a bit Scottish?
A bit Scottish.
You're a bit Scottish. Got an affiliation with America? Mm-hmm. Australia? Mm-hmm. So you're a bitzer. You're a bit of everything.
And also a bit German as well, because my dad, so that Murray was my mum's dad.
Yep.
So my dad's history is from Darmstadt in Germany. Yes, and I have quite a lot of affiliations through my dad to Germany.
Yeah.
Been to Germany, haven't been to Scotland.
So whereabouts? So if you give me a picture of Darmstadt, do you know where that is in relation to, say, Frankfurt or Munich?
It's near Heidelberg.
Yes. My mother was about 200 kilometres south of Heidelberg in a little place called Niederwürzbach.
Ah, okay.
So Darmstadt, okay, north. So just for reference, if Rudy's looking, he's going, Darmstadt, I'm not too sure if I know. But him being Austrian, mum being in German. So interesting. Interesting history.
Yes, I'm really a bit, so I'm a mongrel.
Yeah, you got okay, that's what she said. I didn't say that. We can call her free thought domain / boo-boo mongrel.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, in the chair. Do you listen to what goes on in the States as what's happening with, look, and we can go way back to, the Reagan eras, we can go back to Bush, Clinton, we can talk about Epstein, we can talk about anything, but what's got the hairs on the back of your neck up? And we might use this kind of conversation here, if you want to talk about it, up to you, that might link into a call. So if anybody wants to do a call, we have our headphones here.
G-Man's given me his brand new cans.
I've got the brand new cans and I've got the old pair. I've got the old suckers here.
So good.
Brand
new. Look, there's a few things that roll me up.
Such as?
I try not to rant. I rant at home. I rant at the television and
you yell at them.
And just shake my head a lot. I suppose what bothers me about what I see going on in America is how little Americans know about their own politics and their own Supreme Court judgments and what things really mean. I wonder sometimes whether they've actually ever read their Constitution, because most of them don't actually seem to know what's in there and what isn't in there.
Yeah. Oh, but I guess, in defence to the people in America, there will be some people, and I suppose the degenerates and the deplorables know.
Oh, not our degenerates.
Not our. No. But there would be, I would say, probably the majority of the Australian population. I'm calling it out, you Australian people. They have not even read our Constitution.
No.
They wouldn't know any part of the Constitution. Well, it's a great read. It's actually a really good read, and you just go, "Wow, we are doing so many things."
Yeah.
That.
But the government in Australia is breaching our Constitution on a daily basis, and nobody, because they rely on the fact that people haven't read that document, because it's a bit of a doorstop.
It's a read, yeah.
So they rely on the fact, and I think it's the same in America. And I mean, you've had the recent Roe v. Wade hand down from the Supreme Court. And all I hear is, they've banned abortions. I'm like, no, they didn't. They didn't ban abortions.
Well, geez, we're now veering into a very
touchy subject.
Not for me, but I think for a lot of women that may be, how many, there's only like 6 people watching this anyway, so we can talk away.
Yeah.
But there'd be a lot of women that would just go, right, okay, here we go, and then listen to what Free Thought has to say about that. So what's your viewpoint? What's your viewpoint on on, well, we're talking abortions in Australia. I know, but by the way, before I let you go, I know a lot about the Australian statistics.
Sure.
I know how many abortions we have here every year in Australia.
Yep.
88,000 abortions we have in
Wow.
Australia. 147,000 approximately. Everyone can quote me and have a look at that later. 147,000 women are raped. 57,000 men are raped. But we don't hear those stories.
No,
and then of the 147,000 women that are raped, there's 0.05% that get pregnant.
Yeah.
So now when you have a look at that statistic, you then just go, right, okay, that's the rate of how many women actually get pregnant, and then what's the percentage? So if you have a look at the percentage rates here in Australia, the percentage rates are even less than that here in Australia.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's something like, of the women who get pregnant through rape, there is a 0.3% of those women who will then abort, and the rest will take it to term.
Yeah.
And then they'll just they'll adopt it out.
And they're really horrible statistics.
Horrible statistics.
You know, where's the humanity? But the thing with the recent decision in America is that I look at it more from what it means and the legal perspective of it, rather than the moral perspective of it. And the Supreme Court found that there was nothing in the Constitution that said abortion should be legal. That's not there. So what they said was, we have no jurisdiction. So even though this has been in for 50 years, almost 48, that it shouldn't have been done. We didn't have a jurisdiction to put that in there. As far as privacy goes, which is another part of that particular finding, which is hardly mentioned, the privacy part of it is constitutional. Don't ask me what point. But it's constitutional. So they can rule on privacy of having an abortion and keeping those details private,
Correct.
but not on whether or not you are allowed to have an abortion. It's not their role. It is the state's role. And as far as, you know, taking away or giving rights, the states are the elected people in America. I mean, in Australia, they don't elect the Supreme Court in America, but they elect their state representatives. So if you live in Texas and you don't like the fact that abortion is banned in Texas, go and see your representative. That's who you need to be talking to, not Bill Barr, not whoever else is on the Supreme Court, not harassing them about their finding on the Constitution. You need to go and see your local representatives. And at the end of the day, life begins at conception.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that abortion should be banned, but you need to realise the impact of that, I think. And I think that from what I've seen, what women have been trying to do is take away and it would be a mental drain if you believe you're taking a life when having an abortion, but an abortion seems like the only option for you in that circumstance. And I'd hate to be in that circumstance, and I never have been, so I'm very lucky. If you believe that you're taking a life, then that would have a big impact on your psyche and things. So from that point of view, I can understand why they try to make it not seem like a life. But if someone is 7 weeks pregnant and they have a natural miscarriage, everybody rallies around them and says, oh, we're so sorry for your loss. You know, that person's very upset. They're devastated because as soon as you find out you're pregnant, if you're looking to have a baby and that's what you want, you make it an attachment to that baby. So when you have a loss of a baby at whatever stage after that, it is devastating because you began to plan from that moment in the doctor's office, basically, for that baby. So if at 7 weeks when someone has a miscarriage, you're sorry that they lost their baby, then if you have an abortion at 7 weeks, they've also lost a baby. It's not a different story. And that's where I look at it from. But I don't have any judgment against people who make that choice. But I think that people do need to understand it is a life.
Yeah.
And I think that will help people make a decision more reverently rather than using it as a contraceptive method.
Yeah. I think the argument that I've seen here a lot on, I troll through Facebook every now and then, and I think the argument over here when, I see that there are some groups and women especially, because men won't get involved. Men kind of like, I look at all the comments. Well, I look at the comments and I just go, not one male has commented on this, and they're probably just going, I'm going to leave this one alone. But I don't think they understand that the decision has been handed back to the states, up to the individual states. It's not like we're saying, right, it's all cut off now, it's stopped, done.
Exactly.
It's illegal now. It's okay. It's not our jurisdiction. This is not a federal issue. It's not a national issue.
It's not in the Constitution.
It's not in the Constitution. We're going to hand it back to the states, and the states can make the decision. So, like you say, if you have a beef with the law, is go and see your senator. Go and see the person who's going to make those changes happen.
Yeah,
Rally in front of that person.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's always. I think discussions like this are good. I have personal opinions about it too. It's and we spoke about the religious thing on the other half. Some people are very religious, and they will say under no circumstances. Then there are people that are saying, but what about the extenuating circumstances? Like rape and incest, and they bring up those chestnuts all the time. And you kind of like go, okay, but if we took rape and incest off the table and we allowed you that, we said, okay, under those circumstances, we'll give you that. How about every other one? And then it's like, well, no.
Well, G-Man, I did send you a couple of slides.
You did.
Bring up slide number 7, I think.
Slide 7? Gosh, this one?
Hang on.
Annual abortion statistics.
So they're the annual rates. That's not the right one.
You're looking at your eyes.
On.
Yep. Here we go. See, you're looking really intent.
3.
Three.
Slide 3.
Go for 3. This one here?
Yes.
Why do abortions occur? Okay.
Yeah, so from that slide you can see that the reasons given, sorry, I'm going to have to come
Put your glasses
on. Victim of rape, less than 0.5%. Fetal health problems, 3%. Physical health problems, 4%. It would interfere with education or career, 4%. Not mature enough to raise a child, 7%. Don't want to be a single mother, 8%. Done having children, 19%. 23% can't afford a baby, and 25% aren't ready for a child, and 6% said other.
It's incredible the statistics that you show there, but we want to make it really clear that these are statistics in America. These aren't the statistics here in Australia. You can do a search for yourself to see what the statistics are. But why are you so when you throw statistics like that, or you sent them to me and said, look, here's some things we might want to talk about. Why the passion? Why is it so important for you to talk about some of those things?
I think as a woman, and I have a lot of people in my life, women friends, who are coming at me with they've banned abortion. And I just want to educate people. It's what as I say, I like to help people, but I hate it when people just don't.
Blanket call.
Just blanket call, and they don't look into stuff, and they don't even know. And when they come at you with this stuff and you go, yeah, but that's not what happened. Yeah. They actually said, we have no jurisdiction. They didn't say abortions are banned. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, because they're just taking the talking points off the social media, off the mainstream news, which is all, hyperbolized and made into this emotional, and it's all emotional. And I think that's one of the things in today's society is everybody gets so emotional about everything. And don't worry, I can get emotional too. But I'm usually getting emotional about someone else being emotional about something that's completely garbage. Yeah. So it's just more about being able to educate people on reality rather than this weird place that people seem to live in them.
See, what I might do also is that I'm actually going to bring up now, but for those people who know how to organise yourself and do the and do the, what do you call it? The phone in. I'd like you to be able to make a call. If you want to make a call, you can call through the numbers. You know what the numbers are. Everyone knows what the numbers are. You need to go through your number, and then you know what the passcode is. In fact, if I bring it up here, the Zoom live, I'm all over the place now because I've got so many things going on. So the Waddy Watcher is what we normally do on a Wednesday and a Saturday. But if you want to make a call here, that's the passcode there, 476-631-8505. And the passcode 666. If you want to make a call, certainly do that, because Deb, you're happy to take calls. You want to take call, answer any questions. If somebody wants to make a question, we'll see if somebody comes on here, and then you whack on your headphones and we might have a chat. Yeah. Lucky we're not getting into anything like gun control or anything.
Well, you know,
no.
G-Man.
Have you got, don't tell me you've got slides on that too, do you?
Oh, there might be a couple of slides there. And I suppose that's the other side of it. And these same emotional people who are saying, "Wow, we want to be able to kill our babies whenever we want and use it as contraception, and we want to be able to go and run around and pretend that we're men of the 70s." Just, you know, I mean, I don't know what it's called when women do it. It's called sowing your wild oats when you're a fella. But for me, equality of the sexes doesn't mean you take the fairer sex and debauch it. You know, it's you want to find a common ground in a healthy place, not an unhealthy place. And I see from the wearing babies, it's not a really good term, but you know, the ones that are all going wow, they've banned abortions, are also the ones who are going ban guns. 6 kids got killed in a school shooting last week. Kids are getting killed by shootings all the time. But when you look at the actual statistics of how many kids are killed by guns and the causes of death in children, the gun deaths are a small percentage. It's like 1.5% come from gun deaths.
Well, before you go any further, we have a caller on.
Oh, do we now?
So if you want to throw your headphones on, and I did show you how to organise your headphones.
Yep, doesn't mean I remember.
Tracy, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I can certainly hear you. If somebody can give me a thumbs up to make sure that you can hear Tracy on the other end of the phone. Can you
Hi,
hear?
Tracy.
Okay? Can you
Hi,
hear?
Free Thought. It's so nice to see you.
Yeah. Nice to hear you, Tracy.
Likewise.
What did you want to talk about, Tracy?
Well, she just made a comment. You just said that the same people who are saying we should ban abortion are the same ones who are saying we should ban guns. Well, that's absolutely not true. That is absolutely not true. Those of us here in the States that are conservative Christians, we want to ban abortion, but let me tell you something. We are stocking up on ammunition because it's not about how many kids are being killed. The kids are being killed by people getting guns illegally.
Yeah, of course.
They're criminals.
Yeah, exactly.
Banning guns for law-abiding citizens is just stupid.
Exactly. If you when you take guns out of the hands of the law-abiding citizens, the only people who have them will be the criminals.
Exactly, and that's how, here in the U.S., that's how we became the United States of America, with guns against a tyrannical British government.
Yeah,
and
I think
the whole point. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I think I twisted my words up, and what I was saying was the people who don't want abortions banned are the same ones who want guns banned. So yeah,
true.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
But
so we're on the same page, Tracy.
Okay, good. On the abortion issue, I don't want to take up all your time. I just wanted to say real quick.
Cool.
I've had 5 abortions.
Right.
I was 15 when I had the first one. It's not something that I have ever been proud of. It's not something I ever wanted to do. I was in circumstances where that's what I did. Mm-hmm. But I'm 60 years old now, and I know God's forgiven me, but I also know that I will never, ever forgive myself. And I praise God for my husband who hugged me through it all these years and said, look, God forgives you. God forgives you. Gotta let it go.
Yeah.
So, but I just want to say out there to anybody who wants to defend it. And any of these militant women who are shouting their abortions, I know for a fact, because I was raised in an ultra liberal household, and I was one of those people shouting my abortions back when I was in my 20s.
Wow.
They are being eaten alive inside.
Yeah.
They are the louder they shout, the more it's killing them.
Yeah. And that's
So
exactly what I mean, is that people need to revere life, and if that is a circumstance you find yourself in, that's horrible, and it needs to be a well thought out decision.
Well, well thought out or not, it's no matter what you do. I was in an extremely abusive marriage, and when I was 15, obviously I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was terrified to have any more kids after I had my son, because my ex beat the crap out of me and raped me the whole time I was pregnant, threw me up against the wall when I was 8.5 months pregnant. And then when my son was 8 months old, I found out I was pregnant again. And then again when he was 2, I didn't want to go. I couldn't take care of the kid I had.
Yeah.
I was doing everything I could to protect him. Most of the
course.
beatings I got was getting myself in between him and his father.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to have any more. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the circumstances I was in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I had nowhere else to go. I made the choices I made for survival. But the point is, it never, ever leaves you.
Exactly.
You will always be torn up inside.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's I suppose one of the reasons that I do try to speak out on these things, is because I don't want people to feel the way you've just explained to us, in that that you're holding on to that forever. It's never going to leave you. And I'm so glad you've got your Christian faith to back you up with that. If that gives you some...
If I didn't have the Lord, and I've been a Christian as long as I can remember, and growing up in an abusive household, I held on to God with everything that I had my whole life.
Yeah.
And God has made me not only a survivor, he's made me an incredibly strong survivor, which I kind of hate because my husband just died and I'd rather be with him. But, God has his plan.
Yes, he does. Yes, I'm sure.
Without God, I would have never survived any of the things I went through.
Yeah. Oh, Tracy, thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's an incredible story to share. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry about bringing the atmosphere down, guys. I'll tell you a stupid dad joke later.
Yeah, tell us a stupid dad joke later.
Thanks, Tracy.
Make us all have a bit of fun too. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much. No, don't apologize. You should never apologise. No. Don't be apologising for you having to speak out. So Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Nice to see you, Free Thought.
You too, Tracy. Catch you in the chat later.
Okay.
I got this. I must show you this. And if somebody else wants to call through, sure, call through. And it's good to take those headphones off, isn't it?
They're not my favourite thing.
Not my favourite.
When I was young, I played organ. Yep. You know, the 2-tier ones, the Wurlitzer ones that were big in the 70s.
Ooh, I do remember, actually, the Wurlitzer.
And I don't know whether my playing was bad or whether they just got sick of listening to In the Mood 15 times in a row. But I used to have to wear headphones plugged into the organ to practice.
Yeah, won't be doing that again. I got this message yesterday, I think. Let's have a look at this. No Cavilo 365 says this show, let me yell it out. This show is supposed to be fun and lighthearted. This political-ish discussion is over the top, signing out. So obviously some people don't like the...
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Don't let the door hit
You're harsh. You're harsh. All I can say is, have you subscribed? No, or unsubscribed? Or hit the like button. And if you haven't hit that like button, people...
Hit the like button on your way out the door and don't let it hit you.
Don't let it hit you on the way out. Yeah, I think it's good that we have You know, I mean,
It's
the
a
idea of this is not so much to have just always make people laugh and laugh and laugh. Yes, we can have a bit of fun, but it's also about opening up discussion.
Yeah.
It's not about having, you know, a person saying, I agree with G-Man the whole time, or I agree with you. It's about saying, hey, here's my point of view. And Tracy showed that right there.
Absolutely.
You know, she said something, and I'm so sorry for your loss, and the trauma that must have stayed with you for so long and still is. And then, you know, with your husband passing away last November, horrible. You know, it's just horrible. But you have a belief in, you know, the Lord, and that's this thing that gets you through on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I need to ask you
the
tough question here, which is on everyone's mind. What is a woman?
An adult human female.
Oh, damn. You're supposed to be thinking a lot harder than that. You're supposed to be going, oh, yeah, that's a good question, that. It's really, why is this so hard for our politicians here in Australia and the black woman who was just welcomed into the Supreme Court? If they find it so hard because she's not a biologist, why do they find it so hard to answer that question?
They don't want to be cancelled, G-Man.
Is that what it is?
That's it. That's what it comes down to. They are, to me, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm here to give my opinion.
You are.
They're weak. They're cowards. Mm-hmm. They won't stand by what they know as the truth because they're afraid of the social repercussions of saying that. And as I said, I've got a lot of women friends who, again, will be in that same camp, who are dodging around that and talking about, you know, inclusion and men being allowed to go into ladies' toilets and things like that, whereas I stand very strongly against men being in women's spaces. And you talked the other day about Fernwood and how they have their women only.
Yes.
They actually fought through court quite hard to get that exemption from the sex discrimination law to have a female-only gym because a gym is quite a vulnerable space for women. They're often wearing tight-fitting clothing that's comfortable for working out in, smaller clothing, less clothing, and they feel vulnerable with men. Not everyone. I work in a mixed gym now. But a lot of women do feel vulnerable and want to be in a women's-only space, and particularly bigger women carrying extra weight feel very self-conscious and they don't want to be in that mixed gym environment.
What if a man feels vulnerable? What if a men's gym feels vulnerable?
Look, I'm all for men's gyms. I have no problem in having men's spaces, women's spaces, whatever you like spaces. I totally... The reason originally that women were allowed into men's clubs, for example, is because that was where a lot of the politics was happening. And when women were looking for equality at that level, back with the suffragettes and back in the day when women were not included in the political sphere, and there's a whole other conversation as to whether women should be included in the political sphere, but let's not go there because we've only got another, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's where all the politics and the big decisions were being made. So women wanted to be included in those conversations as much as those spaces when they started to become involved in politics and being allowed to vote and things. That was why women then said they needed to go into men's clubs. But if you want to have a men's club, strip club, whatever you want to do, whatever tickles your fancy, as long as it's adults, I have no problem. Go do it. Knock yourself out. Have a men's club. Do whatever you want. Play pool, look at girls, do whatever you want. I don't care. Work out. If you want to only work out with men, fine. I have no issue with that whatsoever. And I think that it is, I don't know, people just like to be offended.
I think so. And cancel people. So I need you to put your headphones on.
Sure. Someone wants to talk to me.
Nobody wants to talk to you. But what happened just then when you was talking about this? Do you know Lorna Jane? Know of Lorna Jane?
I do.
Who is Lorna Jane for the people who might be insomniacs in Britain who don't know who Lorna Jane is?
Lorna Jane is an Australian gymwear designer.
She is.
So she began designing women's
activewear.
Yeah. And She's an Australian designer, Brisbane actually, I believe. The factory's down near the river.
the airport.
Yeah.
So she's just got slammed.
Oh, what did she do? Did she say that
No, don't make stuff up.
I was
You're going to watch a video.
Asking.
Okay, we're all going to watch a video here. And tell me the reason, when you watch this video, tell me why you think she got slammed.
Activewear. Buying groceries in my activewear. Activewear. Having coffee with my friends in my activewear. Activewear.
Going to the movies in my activewear.
Get a manicure in my activewear. Showing off my baby in my activewear. I drink Coke Zero in my activewear.
Waiting for the bus in my activewear.
Buying activewear in my activewear.
Right. So she got slammed for that ad. It goes for 2.5 minutes.
I haven't seen that one before.
See, you get the scoop here.
Absolutely.
You get the
and that's
scoop
why
here.
every
That's
day.
why you watch this
That's
every
why I'm
day.
here.
So this goes on for 2.5 minutes. Why do you think? Now you see this. Why do you think she got slammed?
Lack of diversity.
Yes, lack of diversity. Where's the LGBTQ, ABC, RSVP people? Where are they? Where's the what is it we normally have, the
What
token black
percentage of
person?
the population do those people make up?
Well, no.
And-
the better
and
question
quite-
is what percentage of those people actually work out?
Well,
You don't have to, because if you're going to the bus stop, you can wear your activewear at the bus stop.
the thing being though, what's a woman? So one of them could have been. You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Because
Absolutely.
maybe they were.
Who's to say? How do you know that
How
none
do
of
you
them
know
were
that they weren't?
lesbian, bi, gay,
Exactly.
intersex?
Exactly. And I walk past the Lorna Jane store in Toowoomba quite frequently. I can't say I've ever seen a man in there. Oh, once I did.
Once,
He was holding
yeah.
the handbag of the girl trying on the clothes.
Yes. I might actually put my activewear gear on this afternoon and go for a bit of a run. Just on my bike.
I only wear my activewear when I'm...
I must say, and look at how you dress and look at how the scum of the earth dress.
I was expecting at least a suit jacket.
Were you really
Yeah.
expecting that? I mean, you see this every day, and this is the evolution of...
There was one when David was coming on?
No, it's when I got my first day of work after 272 days.
But you put a picture of yourself up in your jacket.
I did.
And I went, G-Man's going
He's
to
gonna
wear a
jacket.
suit today.
I wouldn't do that.
And you didn't.
No, because people would turn off. They would go, what the hell's going on here?
And I didn't bring you a T-shirt today, but I did bring you a gift.
You did. Speaking of gifts, this is really important that you went to all the trouble to do this. And I love
This
the
is your
bag.
birthday present because I probably won't
man, it's heavy.
see you again before the 19th
So
of
we're going
August.
to, what is this?
Fresh produce off my orange tree.
It's so good. And the thing is that when you have fresh produce, it smells like the produce.
Yeah. And they're not perfect.
Lemon, beautiful. They shouldn't be perfect.
They are what they are.
You know,
They're not all a uniform size and
look
colour.
at those orchards.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So the trick with those ones, G-Man, is I don't know what breed they are.
Yeah, it's hard though.
It's hard. So don't bruise it.
Don't bruise it. Okay.
No. You got to wait till the skin is completely black.
Oh.
And don't put it in the fridge
No.
until the skin's completely black. Then when you pick it up and you gently squeeze it,
Yeah.
like very
Gently,
gently,
yeah.
you'll it'll just give a little bit. Oh, I'm knocking the mic around.
Yeah. Are we still talking about avocado?
Yes.
Well, okay.
Yes, you are, G-Man.
Okay.
Yes. So just give it a little squeeze and it'll just give a little bit. If you don't want to eat it that day, put it straight in the fridge.
You know what I have with this? I cut it in half. and I put,
Vegemite.
No, balsamic vinegar.
Oh.
Balsamic vinegar into the little hole, and I suck it out. And I'll
nice.
tell you what's beautiful.
That
what
would
else
be
do we
good.
have here? How do you know?
Ah.
How do you know I like chocolate? I don't know.
Little birdie told me yesterday.
Little birdie. There's other fruit in here, people. It's the same fruit.
It's all the same fruit.
No,
There's
no,
limes,
but not
there's-
this one.
There's
So what's the difference between this and this?
so for the Americans, that is a clementine.
Oh, is that a clement, not a mandarin?
It's a mandarin.
Oh,
in
right, but
It's a mandarin in
Mandarin.
Australia.
Yeah.
I grew up being told that the small orange fruit was a mandarin,
Yeah.
and the person from China was a mandarin.
I've got so much.
That's a lime.
I know. I've got, so if I have like in the rare occasion that I might have a beer that needs a wine, like Corona, yeah, I might have a lemon or a lime in there. And then the piece de resistance, that is, how did you know? We might put that over there.
I don't know.
Or we might put
You
that
might have
here.
said something a couple of days ago.
Yes, when I have, and the rest is the
about
same
liking-
fruit in there. And thank you.
You said if you want to buy me a beer, buy me a Guinness or a stout.
A stout.
It's both.
That looks great. This you have to have cold, and I will be having this. I'll be enjoying this tonight. I'll have this all in one go.
Beautiful.
And so by the time I come on tomorrow,
Tomorrow you'll be hungover.
I'll be having these big sad eyes. No
you
one's
go.
on, so looks like, gosh, 9:55. We might just go a little bit longer,
Sure.
if you don't mind. If you want to go, you want to have a look at a couple of memes.
Oh, I think we should, yeah.
And the memes that I pulled out here, and the reason why I pulled these ones out, I think all these memes are your memes, the ones that you send me.
Talking statistics, I reckon 95.3%.
Oh, not memes. Let's go motivation. I like motivation.
Of the motivations.
Here we go.
That one's not mine.
No. Okay. Feeling sad and ugly? Buy a motorcycle and just be ugly. See? All good. I met a woman outside the mall crying. She had just lost $200. So I gave her $40 from the $200 I found. When God blesses you, you must bless others. See? Clever, isn't it?
Ding.
There will always be a reason why you meet people. Either you need them to change your life, or you're the one that will change theirs. Deep.
Absolutely.
It's deep, isn't it? Some of these people are deep.
Yeah.
You know what I think happens is that when a person sends a motivational quote to me, I think it relates to them, and they can really relate to it, and they just go, "Yes, that is so true." Maybe it is.
Maybe.
It costs nothing to treat someone with respect.
Absolutely.
Have I been respectful to you today?
Absolutely, Jimmy.
Gosh, I must change my tune.
I mean, that's my... A lot of people say, politics again. Grace Tame stood next to the Prime Minister and scowled at him, and everybody goes, well, he didn't deserve her respect. I'm like, but it shows that she's a disrespectful person. You respect people because of who you are, not because of who they are.
Ooh, that's good. You respect a person because of who you are. It's like, I'm going to suck it up, I'm going to do this, but there will be a lot of people that will say, why should she? Why can't she show her true self? And that's what I think what she did. She just showed her true self.
I think she did show her true self, but she didn't endear herself to everyone. And someone gave the analogy, a bit of Confucius kind of saying for you. If you got a cup of coffee and you trip and the coffee and the cup tips, what comes out of the cup?
Coffee.
Right. Why doesn't tea come out of the cup?
Because I'm not a biologist.
Because what comes out is what's inside.
Ooh. Wow, that is deep.
Not because you tripped.
When a person's angry, it's what's inside that person that makes
comes
them
out.
We talked, I think, a little bit a while ago about the EBA, the emotional bank account. What a person puts into the person's emotion is what naturally comes out.
Yes.
So, I like that. What comes out.
Yeah. Yes. So when I saw Grace Tame giving ScoMo,
speech.
can't even remember who he was.
The handshake.
Last week.
Yeah.
The scowl, I saw what was inside Grace Tame.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Scott Morrison. So it's how you view the world.
We need another conversation about that. That's a longer conversation, I think, that we can have, and I think there'll be a lot more callers in because they will put their point of view, and there will be some people that go, I don't know what you're talking about, so I would have to get that clip ready so that people can see what that means.
Believe me, the people I hang out with, I don't necessarily put my point of view forward because they don't. They just shut me down.
They do. The strongest people make time to help others, even if they're struggling with their own personal demons.
Very true.
It's true, isn't it? A lot of this stuff's true. I spend an insane amount of time wondering if I'm doing it right. At some point, I just remind myself that I'm doing my best. That is enough. That's good, isn't it?
It is.
And I think what we've been talking about also in the past. Let me just turn that. Where's my mouse? Oh, my mouse is broken now. In the past, we've spoken also.
I speak a good English.
I learned from a book. I think sometimes what happens is that people have this idea of the sharing of the medals. You know, we spoke about that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone needs to get an award. But what's wrong with a person being first?
Yeah.
And there was a great quote that I think, again, I don't know who it was that said it. I think I saw it on some meme that came through. And I've mentioned this before on this podcast, is where a young boy comes off the soccer field and he says to his dad, "Dad, the coach is rowling me all the time. He's telling me to hurry up, run faster, catch the ball, get up from the ground.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he do that to the other people? Why doesn't he do that to the other guys?" And the father turns to him and he says, "Well, son, if he didn't care, he wouldn't speak to you. He can see that you have got potential."
Yeah.
And so it really makes a big difference that even though you are last, it's okay. How did you go, son? "I did good." "Did you do your best?" "Yeah, I did." That's all that matters.
Yeah. I had a conversation because obviously as a personal trainer, I'm working with people who are striving to achieve goals. Some of them have goals where they want to lift a particular weight or they want to run a particular time in a race, running, marathon. The Gold Coast Marathon was on last weekend. You know, a lot of people went and did that. And I've also got people who have mental health issues and things going on with their bodies, that they're not ever going to be the strongest, the fittest, the fastest. But then they need to realise that they will get to their best. And what I said to them was, think about Usain Bolt, okay?
Hussein. Yeah, Usain Bolt.
Usain.
Yeah.
Where's your
Usain.
H's
Oh,
and
yeah.
your U's and yeah. Okay. So think about Usain Bolt. He ran the fastest 100 metres ever. Ever. He doesn't run the fastest 100 metres ever every time he runs. Every time he runs, he doesn't even get close to that time that he did in that Olympics. So a lot of people are always trying to put themselves or match themselves up against someone else's A role.
Yeah, true.
And they're matching their B reel to someone else's A reel.
Yeah.
And social media is terrible for that.
It's horrible, isn't it?
And so I said to her, you're not going to do your PB every time you lift a weight. You're not going to do a PB. And because even elite athletes don't do a PB every time they race.
That's so true. It's so true. And I think there's a lot of, there's emotion and there's crowd. The crowd really can lift you up.
Yeah.
The day, the wind, the environment, everything helps towards that. And so, when Usain Bolt ran the fastest, which was, I think, in 3.8 seconds. I'm not a mathematician, but it was fast. 9 seconds. 9.5 seconds.
9.57.
You're making it up now. He's not going to run.
Pretty close.
He's not going to run that every single time, like you said.
Yeah.
But we do. We look at that and we go, "That's what I'm going to aspire to," and there's nothing wrong with that. I can aspire to that.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean I'll get there.
We need that aspiration as well to drive us forward.
I want a gold medal. I would like a gold medal.
Oh, sorry, I didn't include one in my package.
Let's have a look at the last of the motivations. Life is short. Don't be afraid to go after what makes you happy. Remember to laugh. Spend time with the ones who make you smile. And don't let the negative people bring you down. Deep, isn't it? It's very deep.
Very deep.
I know. Where do these people get these from? They must just troll Facebook or something like that. Wow. Forget who hurt you yesterday, but don't forget those who love you every day. Forget the past that makes you cry and focus on the present that makes you smile. Forget the pain, but never forget the lessons you gained. What's his name? Rick Dick. Rob Dick. You can't see. You haven't got your glasses on.
No.
I think that was on. This is the last one. When you see something beautiful in someone, tell them. It may take you a second to say it, but for them, it could last a lifetime.
Absolutely.
I told you. I said you look absolutely wonderful in your outfit, and I look like scum.
And that is something. It's another thing that I picked up along my journey was a little saying, or whatever you like to call it, leave a profit. Wherever you go, leave a profit. So leave the person with something that makes them feel better or be in a better position than they were before you met them.
I like that. I like that. I think we've got time for maybe just a couple of... We haven't seen anyone's quotes.
We haven't seen any comments today.
Hard Place was the first one that came on. G-Man did also...
he did do the word.
Did say phrases. So somehow use Vatican City Streetwalker. I'm going to leave that to you to end up the show with somewhere. Vatican City Streetwalker. Okay, you got it in your head? Mm-hmm. Vatican City Streetwalker. I'm counting on you. That's what it says there. I'm counting on you.
Everybody asked me if you were going to let me push your buttons today.
Oh,
and I said, that's not a good idea.
No. So we might go back 4 pages and let's read some of the comments here. You'll be able to see that on the bottom there. Ross Allegan, that is what Congress is for. They could have codified abortion but did not. So it's hard when you haven't
all
been
the
keeping
context.
Up. Yeah, all the context. Yeah. Chef says, Chef, g'day, Chef. End up in human resources trying to explain that you're not trying to hit on that woman. Chef, what does that mean? See, again, it's no context. We might go down to the bottom, said no man ever. Wow, Brian says, by far the most intelligent, straightforward guest yet.
Oh, thank you, Ross.
Brian,
sorry, Brian. I really do need.
She hasn't got her glasses on.
No.
G-Man is wearing a G-string.
How did you know?
Oh, gee.
The desk doesn't have a back on it either.
No,
so.
It doesn't. Chef says deflection. Tricombe 79. RBG said Roe v. Wade was a bad law.
And that was the other thing that's been really bothering me is all of these people have been quoting Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
As being, pro-abortion.
Yeah.
She actually was less pro-abortion than what you might think.
Totally.
And she very much had a limit. And that I think the other thing that's happening with society is at the moment you've got one end of the scale that is trying to pull society so far down this amoral in so many ways.
Yeah.
And so on the other end, when you start to push back again, there comes a point where you just go, no, enough.
Yeah.
So when you start talking about 40-week abortions, people go, hang on. You've just said, my body, my choice, I get to choose whether I have this parasite inside of me.
Ooh, that's a harsh word.
If you're 40 weeks pregnant, you've already done the hard work. It's too late to decide it's a parasite now that you just want to, shuffle away. I'm sorry if I'm upsetting people. Why can't that baby then be born alive and adopted out? Whereas there's people saying, oh no, we should just be able to kill it in a couple of days. I think, there's been talk of that.
You're passionate about it, I can tell you that.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Teresa says, my husband's ex-wife died with me by her side and we were friends. We both won.
Oh, condolences, Teresa.
I just found out you're an idiot. Brood, oh my God. And we've got, it's hard to know what they're doing. You're just being a naughty boy for attention. I think so. Bring out the gravy, Bearcat. All right. And Lee Clark says, I like her. All right. It's somebody's on the phone, did they say? Hang on. No one's on the phone. No one's on the phone. Otherwise, we would have picked up. It says somebody...
Tricombe.
FF's sake. FF's sake. What does that say? Phone. I don't know what that means.
FF's phone.
It's hard, isn't it? So it's here when you're on this side.
Maybe
here?
Tricombe was trying, we were chatting.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Don't know. It didn't
Both
come
got
through.
ADD, so...
It might do. Looking Glass says this, FTD, free thought domain equals free thinker.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Sonia puts up the beers and the whiskies. Cheers, everyone.
But if you give me a good argument,
you'll
I'll
fight
think about it.
You'll think about it,
I'll think about it as well. I have changed my point of view on a lot of things over the years because I've got more information. When I get more information, I make a different opinion. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't actually do. And that's why I'm a free thinker, because
free thinking's good. I like it. John Paul says, just put my granddaughter to bed. To know that somebody could legally take that pleasure from me is upsetting. It certainly is.
Very sad.
And then we got Black Dot.
Hey, Black Dot.
Free thought domain. You are a pleasure. Good show. There you go. All right, I think we'll leave it there. Let's play the... do you want to listen to the music on the way out?
Oh, I've
We
heard
have to
it.
put the headphones on if we want to listen to the music.
I've heard it a lot.
So do you want to say any final goodbyes as we go here?
Oh, look, thanks everyone for all your kind words. And thanks G-Man for having me in the
Hot seat.
studio today.
studio, eh?
In the
Here
studio.
it is.
In the hot box.
Yeah.
It's
I think I can
it's
hear
great.
footsteps coming up the
Yeah,
stairs.
could be.
People are coming in.
They're coming to pick me up.
They're coming to pick you up. All right. All right, everyone. We're going to play the outro. If you wouldn't mind, don't forget. Oh, God, hang on. Don't forget to...
All hail Rudy.
Because that's what you have to do on a daily basis. Yep.
Cheers, Rudy.
Cheers, Rudy. All right, let's play that music and we'll see who's going to be last today. And there's no music. I have to go to this screen.
Yes, there's music.
There you go.
Can't see it. You've got- When you know better, you do better. Cheers, Kookaburra. I'll help the G-Man hang up his painting before I go. Thanks, Ross. Buck Rogers. Triton. Who done it? Thanks, Chef. Cheers, Jake. Cheers, Pub Test. Cheers, Cartel. Thanks, Pasquale. Thank you, Tracy. Thanks for the call. Wallace? All hail Rudy. Thanks, one more, Mum.
We'll leave this last comment to Chef. Free Thought Domain. You were awesome. Thanks, Chef. See you all tomorrow.